Hello, I'm Edel McBride. I'm from Convoy, which isn't too far from where we are today in Stranorlar, and I'm a designer, mostly working in knitwear, knitwear designer. So I grew up in Convoy, and I was very influenced by my grandmother's sewing studio in Convoy. She was incredibly talented and ran a very, very busy workshop there. And I went on to study fashion. I work on a day-to-day basis making clothing, and we've gone full circle in the business from my very early days, which were very craft orientated, and even at Convoy School we were very lucky to have great tuition in the arts and crafts area. At a very, very early stage we had to introduce ourselves one night. It's something to do with the University of Ulster. It was to a board who seemed quite stuffy, I suppose. And there was a gentleman there who, I don't know, owned a shipping company or something of some magnitude that I could never comprehend to this day probably. But they were all saying a line of advice, and I remembered his because I used it often. And his advice was, do it now. He said, all I'm going to tell you is 3 words. There will be many times if you go on with your business that you will have to do something that you absolutely don't want to do. You're going to have to pick up the phone, and you know you're going to have to do it, and the instinct is to put it off and to find other things to do. So I often rally that when I've had to lift the phone and make a very difficult call, or there's like many, many difficult things. I've always thought, do it now. And it is the greatest feeling to actually just do that, to just tackle the biggest issue head on, and then get on with the good stuff again. I want my legacy to be that I didn't stop, that I kept it going, and that loads of people here are making things. Our weavers are thriving. Our weaving industry in Donegal is thriving. I have it on very, very good authority from yarn spinners. Knitting in Donegal is doing very well, and Donegal is seen as somewhere that has retained a lot of its strong cultural element, and I feel I've played a part in that by not giving up and by valuing what was there to value.